Hey guys, it's Piper, and I don't believe in trigger warnings, but I also don't believe in holding other people to my standards. And since this is a public work that I'm charging real life money for, you guys have the right to know what's in it before you buy it. That way you can either go in prepared, knowing you're gonna see this shit, or not buy it to begin with. And besides, all my friends keep saying I shouldn't apply the same things to humans as I do to myself, and despite the wording, I actually don't think they're kidding. At least not at this point. And so anyway, I thought even though I'm still fully against trigger warnings, I at least owe everybody a content warning, because these drawings are not suitable for anyone under 18, no exceptions. Besides, I don't want to sell my book to people who won't enjoy it, you know what I mean? So, as some of you know already, because maybe you follow me on Instagram or something, I have kept this sketchbook for 10 years, and now I'm publishing it. And from 2009 to 2019, I went through a lot of hard times, and that is definitely reflected in my art. A lot of these images, they will be highly disturbing for some viewers. This is not a sketchbook with like still lives of Fru and portraits of my friends, something like that. It's actually filled to the brim with references to mental illness, and it walks the fine line between wallowing and glamorizing, because for a long time I didn't want to get better. I didn't even consider it. It was the last thing on my mind. And a portion of this was drawn while I was in the psych ward on suicide watch, and looking back, I didn't belong there, and it would have been much safer at home, especially considering all I went through there. But I digress. Point is, this is not an ordinary sketchbook. It is extremely graphic and it's uncensored. And as a lot of you already know, thanks to my amnesiac drunk tweet to Eugenia Cooney, because I guess I accidentally hit quote instead of reply or something, as if she would have seen it to begin with. God, Piper, you fucking drunk idiot. I am recovering from an eating disorder. I've had it since I was 11. I used to consider it over, but it's time to wake up. I'm terrified of sugar and carbs and processed food, and I feel like a beached whale even though I know I'm not. I mean, I do own a mirror, but it doesn't change feelings. We all know how I feel about feelings. My eating disorder didn't go away. It just changed. Well, there's a lot of eating disorder symbolism in this book, that's why I'm saying it. I drew a lot of people puking, and I illustrated the vomit. I drew a lot of emaciated people, and while the pain is obvious, so is my love and attachment to anorexia. There's also a lot of references to cutting. I didn't draw anyone actually cutting themselves, like it's not in the act, but I drawn cut marks and people bleeding. I'd say the latter is more what the Tumblr folk would call problematic. There's a lot of blood in there. Tons of blood. Some of it coming out of vaginas, because I'm tasteful. Speaking of vaginas, there are a lot of vaginas in my book. No penises. I didn't draw very many men, period. Anyway, there's a lot of erotica in there. No blatant porn, but definitely erotica. Some of it involving tentacles. No, not testicles. Tentacles. Don't worry. It's all consenticles. Consensual. Another trigger warning. Math. Okay, that was supposed to be a joke, but it fell flat because I do love math, and there's some math in the margins, okay. I want to talk, kind of, lighten the mood. Get on with it, Piper. Liquor. There's a person being impaled, beheading, or at least headlessness, suicide and suicidal ideation, Chinese takeout. I think I've covered all my bases at this point. It's an Amazon Kindle exclusive, but you don't need a Kindle to read it. As a matter of fact, please don't read it on a Kindle. Read it on your phone, tablet, or desktop using the Kindle app instead. That way you can see it in color. So this book will be coming out on my Hatch Day, April 2nd, and it'd be a great Hatch Day present if I got a bestseller in mixed media. It's currently available in pre-order for the price of $1.99 because they wouldn't let me charge any lower because the file size was too large. Assholes. And after I already said it would be 99 cents in a pre-order sale, so what if it's like 1,000,000 megabytes large? Of course it is. It's a bunch of pictures. God, Amazon. It's still cheaper than a soda in the city. And I decided to add a preview for Cry for the Devil, slated for November release. Again, mentioned that on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram or Twitter, y'all are probably lost. I never mentioned it before now on YouTube. Oops. You'll get to read the first however many pages I slapped in there. It was going to be like 5 pages, but since they wouldn't let me charge just 99 cents for the sketchbook, I'm adding more bonus CFTD sketches and extending it to like 16 pages. It doesn't sound like a lot, but my book starts where the story starts, not like 100 pages in after you've met all the characters, and I've illustrated William's boring-ass life to show you how different it is after he meets Arete and Elijah, yawn. I did that in 3 paragraphs, saved everyone a lot of time. But I could start a whole new rant about how so many authors do these dumb, gimmicky things instead of getting on with it, because I hate almost every book I've ever read after high school because my standards are just so overwhelmingly high. Especially after I started studying creative writing in college, that's when all the shit hit the fan. But anyway, moving on. No censored version of 10 Years of Sketching will be released because I refuse to censor my work. This book is strictly ages 18+. Do not buy it for an underage person, please. There's softcore tentacle erotica in it, for f***'s sake. Don't be that guy. In summary, too long, zoned out. Content warning for eating disorders, suicide, gore, and softcore erotica. Follow Arete on Instagram and or Elijah on Twitter. My favorite 2 villains for more information on Cry for the Devil, and they'll also say a little bit about 10 Years of Sketching too. I just don't want to spam up my stuff with it all the time, you know. And pre-order my book on Kindle. I'm talking too fast. I'm tripping over myself. Maybe follow me on Goodreads because I have one of those now. And yeah, subscribe to this shitty ass channel. I'm barking orders at you today. Yes. Have a great day. See ya. Oh, God, I hope this book release doesn't flop. I'll be so sad. I mean, I know it will because I'm such a small tuber, but oh my God, please don't flop. Please don't flop. I spent so long on all this. Breathe out. Breathe.